For most kids, the stadium was just a place for PE class. For Jamal, it was a stage. Every evening, after the teachers left, he'd go there to practice. His moves were a mix of street dance, Afro beats, and acrobatics. Clips of his performances sometimes made it to TikTok, but Jamal wasn't chasing likes, just wanted to feel alive. That night was different. Tori showed up a bold, flashy TikToker with thousands of followers. She suggested a collab, some kind of dance challenge. Jamal hesitated, but eventually agreed. They laughed, argued, reshot clips. Then she said she'd grab her headphones from the locker room. Nobody saw her alive again. By morning, Tori's body was found in the bushes near the stadium. Everything Jamal had built crumbled in an instant. Police arrived by noon, cordoning off the bushes where Tori was found. The detectives, grim and efficient, checked the surveillance cameras along the school fence. There were 5, but the key footage from 11 p.m. to midnight, when the murder likely happened, was gone. The hard drive was wiped clean, as if someone had erased it on purpose. The remaining tapes showed only an empty stadium and flickering shadows. Jamal, the last person to see Tori alive, became the prime suspect. His silent shock and fear was taken as guilt. He tried to explain. They were just dancing. He went home. But his words drowned in paperwork. Neighbors whispered, recalling his fierce dance battles, and the cops built their case. With no evidence but certainty, they cuffed Jamal as his mother stood outside, clutching her phone in disbelief. News of Tori's death and Jamal's arrest blew up local media. Headlines screamed, "Stadium murder. Dancer under suspicion." Social media erupted. Comments under Jamal's videos called him a killer and ghetto psycho. No one asked for motives or waited for proof. His face, plastered in police reports, became a symbol of guilt. His court-appointed lawyer, a tired man in a wrinkled suit, just shrugged. No tape, no case. Jamal's mother, Layla, sobbed over childhood photos of him dancing at school events. The cops, satisfied with their quick arrest, ignored her pleas. The neighborhood split. Some saw Jamal as a victim of the system, others as a threat. His friends stayed silent, afraid of attention. In his cell, Jamal stared at the ceiling, replaying that night, Tori's laugh, her snapback, their dance. He didn't know who'd want her dead, but he felt his name drowning in the city's lies. Mikey, Jamal's 13-year-old brother, wasn't a fighter or a partier. Skinny, with messy curls, he lived in a world of retro consoles and VHS tapes scavenged from flea markets. His room, a shrine of blinking screens and tangled wires, was his escape from the neighborhood chaos. But Jamal's arrest changed everything. Mikey refused to believe the headlines, calling his brother a killer. He wouldn't hurt a fly, he muttered, scrolling through TikTok hate. For the first time, the quiet kid took a stand. Armed with a phone, a notebook, and his tech know-how, Mikey started his own investigation. But the neighborhood stayed silent. Neighbors looked away. Jamal's friends dodged questions. Then Mikey noticed something. Under number Tora last dance, and Anon hinted at a shadow figure. Someone knew more but was too scared to talk. Mikey's new weapon? Stubbornness. He'd dig Jamal out, even if it meant turning the whole block upside down. Mikey knocked on doors, hunting for old cameras that might have caught the stadium that night. Most brushed him off, but Mr. Carter, a grumpy old man, handed over a dusty JVC. "Points right at the track?" he muttered, giving Mikey a tape labeled 2025. Heart pounding, Mikey clutched it. This could crack the case. One problem: where to find a working VCR. His had broken a year ago. He remembered the school storage room, full of outdated tech. Late that night, he sneaked in, digging through junk until he found a player, but the cord was torn. Desperate, he spotted another clue, a security logbook. The night Tori died, someone had scribbled "outside visitor," then scratched it out. Not a coincidence, Mikey thought. He took the book and tape, sensing the puzzle tightening. Someone was covering their tracks, someone closer than he thought. Mikey tracked down Greg, a cranky tech whiz whose basement was a graveyard of old TVs. In exchange for chips in the story, Greg fixed the VCR. 2 days later, the tape flickered to life. Grainy footage showed the stadium. At 11:17 p.m., a hooded figure limped out of the locker room, not Jamal. The walk was heavy, uneven, with a tattoo visible on the neck, a snake coiled around a dagger. "Know that ink?" Greg squinted. "West Side Guys." Mikey filmed the screen, but the tape glitched, cutting off the climax. Undeterred, he dug deeper, rewatching Jamal's old battle videos. In one, a guy with the same tattoo lurked in the background, face hidden. Mikey's pulse raced. This person knew the stadium, the cameras. maybe even how to erase footage. He posted the clip on TikTok. Who is this? Number find the truth. The video blew up, but so did the threats in his DMs. Stop digging, kid. The game was on, and Mikey was close, or in danger. Mikey uploaded the hooded figure's image to TikTok with the caption, "If not Jamal, then who?" The video exploded 1 million views in 24 hours. Students reacted, bloggers analyzed the gait and tattoo, and number who was hooded shadow trended. But fame brought danger. That night, leaving Greg's, Mikey spotted a black pickup trailing him. Its headlights flashed before it veered into an alley. His heart hammered. The next day, a note appeared in his backpack. Delete the video, or else. Scared but defiant, Mikey posted again, holding the threat on camera. Who's afraid of the truth? The backlash was instant. Cops called him in, warning him to stop interfering. Anonymous TikTok comments hinted at someone from school, but no names. Then, at midnight, a DM arrived, a video of his window filmed from the street. Mikey slammed his laptop shut. Danger was closing in. But for Jamal, he'd risk it all. Word of Mikey's investigation spread. A neighbor, Mr. Rodriguez, slipped him another tape footage from a backyard camera near school. Might help, he muttered, glancing over his shoulder. Greg cleaned up the grainy video. The hooded figure tossed something shiny into a dumpster. A flash drive, maybe a copy of the erased stadium footage. Mikey planned a midnight dumpster dive. With Aisha, his tech-savvy friend, he crept to the school. Their flashlight trembled as they sifted through trash. Suddenly, a beam cut through the dark security. They ducked behind the dumpster, holding their breath as the guard radioed. Kids messing around again. Gone, Aisha found the shattered drive. Then headlights the same pickup. They bolted through backyards, escaping. The drive was damaged, but hope remained. Recover the data, free Jamal. The stakes were rising, but Mikey sensed the truth was near. Shaken from the chase, Mikey and Aisha huddled in Greg's basement. Aishadrid's tied back. Sharp was their tech genius. She'd fixed gadgets since age 10. If the data's intact, I'll pull it, she vowed, wiring the drive to Greg's ancient laptop. But corrupted files slowed her down, and the cops were no help. Detective Garcia dismissed Mikey's call. Stay in your lane, kid. Aisha seethed, remembering how police had ignored her stolen bike, blaming neighborhood drama. That night, they found another clue in the trash, a shred of a coach's jacket with paint stains. Not random. Then an anonymous text buzzed on Aisha's phone. Check the locker room. Someone was playing games, someone who knew more than the cops. Aisha clenched her fist. We're getting the truth, Mikey. Aisha and her hacker friend Pixel worked non-stop to salvage the drive. The result? Blurry but damning. The hooded figure was Ryan Kelly, the football coach's assistant, leaving the locker room the night Tori died. Jamal's silhouette, meanwhile, appeared near the stadium's far exit, already heading home. Mikey wanted to sprint to the police, but Aisha stopped him. They won't listen. We need noise. She edited the clips, adding Kelly's tattoo and the caption, "Who's hiding the truth?" 3 million views, yet the cops called it kids playing detective. Aisha's patience snapped. Her own brother had been wrongly arrested. She knew cover-ups. Meanwhile, Mikey found paint in the locker room matching the jacket stains. Then, at school, a flashlight beam cut through the dark. Aisha yanked Mikey into the shadows. We're being watched. The trap was tightening. Principal Henderson summoned Mikey. Behind his polished smile and designer glasses lurked a steel will. A former Marine, he prized the school's reputation. You're talented, Michael, he said, tapping his pen. Delete the videos, and I'll guarantee you a scholarship. Don't tarnish our name. Mikey refused. He'd seen Henderson flinch at Kelly's name and heard rumors of their backroom deals. Back home, Mikey dropped another bomb. A side-by-side of Kelly's tattoo and a yearbook photo. 5 million views. TikTok erupted. And Anon commented, check the coach's storage. But the police stayed silent. Garcia wouldn't even reopen the case. Social media isn't evidence. Aisha, fuming, suspected collusion. That night, they broke into the storage room, finding another paint-stained jacket. Then footsteps echoed outside. Someone knew they were there. Mikey realized Henderson or someone higher was burying the truth. Jamal's case became a high-profile trial, covered live by the media. The press besieged the courthouse, filming crowds with slogans like, "Justice for Tori and Jamal." Mikey's TikTok videos, supported by Aisha's evidence, became key pieces of evidence. Kelly, cornered, stumbled over his testimony, and paint analysis linked his jacket to the crime scene. The police, previously dismissive, reopened the investigation under pressure from the media. A month later, the court dropped the charges against Jamal, declaring him innocent. The morning of his release was clear, with a gentle breeze. Mikey stood at the prison gates, clutching an old VHS camcorder like a talisman. When Jamal stepped out, wearing a worn jacket but with the same spark in his eyes, time stood still. Mikey, unable to hold back tears, rushed to him. Their embrace a tight one, without words said it all. Jamal placed a hand on his brother's head, whispering, "You're my hero." Cameras clicked, reporters shouted their names, but the brothers saw only each other. The neighborhood welcomed Jamal with cheers, but pain lingered in his gaze. The truth about Tory was still incomplete. This poignant reunion marked the beginning of a new struggle for the justice they had fought for together. Jamal's release became a celebration for the neighborhood. A crowd gathered at the prison gates, friends, neighbors, even strangers inspired by his story. Mikey, standing next to his brother, felt their embrace captured by dozens of cameras. Jamal, gaunt yet with his head held high, remained silent, but his eyes spoke volumes about what he had endured. Their mother, Layla, cried as she hugged her sons while reporters shouted questions. The media, which had once vilified Jamal, now labeled him a victim of the system. But scars remained, friends who had turned away in fear, whispers from neighbors, nights spent in a cell. Jamal returned home, but the neighborhood was no longer the same. He avoided the stadium where it all began and rarely spoke of Tory. Mikey, seeing his brother's pain, vowed not to give up. Coach Kelly awaited trial, but Mikey suspected that someone else possibly connected to Principal Henderson was hiding the truth. Their victory was just the beginning. That evening, the brothers sat on the porch, listening to the distant sounds of the city. "We'll get through this," Mikey said. Jamal nodded, smiling for the first time. This new chapter promised to be challenging, but they were in it together. Jamal didn't give interviews or respond to messages from bloggers eager for his story. Instead of words, he chose dance. A week after his release, he returned to the school stadium where it all began. Under the rays of the setting sun, surrounded by friends and Mikey with a camera, he pressed play. The music, mixed with VHS noise and echoes of TikTok comments, became his voice. His movements, sharp yet fluid, told stories of pain, struggle, and freedom. The crowd that gathered around fell silent, mesmerized. Mikey filmed, feeling his brother come back to life. The video, uploaded to TikTok, went viral, racking up 10 million views. The hashtag number Jamal Dance turned into an anthem for those who had faced injustice. People worldwide replicated his moves, adding their own stories. But for Jamal, this was more than just a dance, it was a way to heal wounds. He didn't speak of Tory, but every step was dedicated to her. Mikey, watching his brother, understood this dance was their shared victory. Yet questions remained. Who erased the recording? Why was Henderson silent? Jamal danced, but the truth was still waiting for its moment. Inspired by their struggle, Mikey launched an online platform called Truth Tapes. It was a site where teenagers from around the world could upload videos about injustices in their schools, neighborhoods, and families. The platform, started with the help of Aisha and Pixel, quickly gained popularity. Stories of police misconduct, school setups, and silenced truths filled it. Mikey didn't see himself as a hero, he was just a brother who refused to give up, but his determination inspired thousands. Jamal, supporting the project, occasionally appeared in videos, dancing or simply standing silently beside Mikey. The platform became their way to continue fighting, even as Tory's case remained unresolved. Mikey suspected that Principal Henderson and someone in the police knew more, but there was not enough evidence. One day, an anonymous video was uploaded to the site, a blurry frame showing a figure resembling Henderson near the stadium that night. It was a hint, but not proof. Mikey saved the file, determined to dig deeper. The truth isn't always on camera. He wrote in the Truth Tapes manifesto, but we will find it. His platform became a beacon for those who believe. Even if the cameras lie, the truth will eventually break through.